Welcome back to another episode of Villain Review, and today we're going to be looking at Smaug from the Hobbit trilogy. For those who don't know, the Hobbit trilogy was directed by Peter Jackson and came out between 2012 and 2014. The trilogy stars Martin Freeman, Ian McKellen, Richard Armitage, among many others. Smaug is the big bad dragon of the trilogy, and today we're going to see if he's worthy of being a villain in the Lord of the Rings universe. Let's begin. So, Smaug's origins are somewhat unclear, but we do know the dude loves gold. Upon hearing upon this massive treasure in the dwarven mountain of Erebor, Smaug was like, word? Let me check it out. Smaug then went over to the mountain and liked what he saw. Gold, baby. Smaug took the mountain from the dwarves and then took like a 150-year nap. We don't know why Smaug likes gold as much as he does, but he just does. When I say this, it might seem like a weak motivation, and it kinda is, but there's something about it that makes it not quite as bad. If you want to say Smaug likes gold because it's in his nature and that's just because he's really greedy, I can excuse it. Smaug is an animal and doesn't really have a reason. I'm sure it's just instinctual. It's just a part of dragons. It would be kind of stupid if Smaug had like this tragic backstory of like his dragon childhood.
Hey Dad, look! I got an A- on my dragon school test.
A-? That's it? Why no A+?
Well, I tried my hardest.
No, son. That's no excuse for being a f***ing idiot.
But Dad...
Butts are for cave trolls, son. You were a dragon. No, you are not even a dragon anymore. You are a disappointment. And you will never have any gold. You will never chase a group of dwarves out of their home. You're as useless as an elf with life insurance.
I'll show him. One day I will have gold. One day I will chase a group of dwarves out of their home. I will.
I think our little game ends here. So tell me, thief, how do you choose to die?
One of the only reasons Smaug dies is because he's extremely arrogant and cocky. Smaug is just as smart as any other human, but his downfall is really because of his arrogance. He loves being flattered by Bilbo, and even he lets him live for a while just so he can keep getting compliments. I really like how Smaug's evilness scales throughout his scenes. At first, he's like, oh, what's up, Bilbo? Like, shoddy, what's up, dude? And then later, he's like, all right, Bilbo, it's time to die. And then later, he's like, okay, let's just kill everyone. Sometimes you don't need villains who are sympathetic or right from a certain point of view, but just a villain who is evil, and Smaug does a good job with this. Smaug is intelligent, and he shows it throughout the movie, but I like how he's not smart enough to be outwitted by the dwarves. Like, they're a collective of people who can outsmart him. I like how he's so arrogant, it gets in the way of almost every other one of his personality traits. Benedict Cumberbatch portrays Smaug, and the performance is great. Smaug seems to have so much character for a CGI creature, and his design is amazing as well. The CGI geniuses at Weta make him look to be one of, if not the best looking CGI characters of all time. When you combine this with his performance and the solid writing, he's definitely gold. So the best scene Smaug has to offer is obviously the one where he's in the mountain with Bilbo. Due to great performances by Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, this scene shines in an already good movie. The back and forth is great as we get to see Smaug for the first time, and he slowly shows what kind of dragon he really is. There's practically 2 movies full of build-up, and this scene doesn't disappoint. While this scene is awesome, I think it's unfortunate we don't get to see him more. He has this scene, the one where he fights the dwarves, and the one where he dies. That's it. I wish in the Battle of the Five Armies, his death lasted a little longer, like they really could have done more with it. I wish he had more interaction with the dwarfs, or even if they had a scene that showed when he actually took Erebor for the first time, that would have been cool. With the scenes we have, they're solid. I just want more. Smaug is so close to being a 9 or a 10 out of 10 villain, but there are just a few things that hold him back. His origins and motivations don't take away from him, but ideally there would have been something there that makes him more interesting. His character is all around solid, and he gives us a villain who has strengths both mentally and physically. I only wish we saw him a little more and that he had more of a presence in the third movie. Smaug gets an 8. Thanks for watching today's episode of Villain Review, and I'll see you this Wednesday for a special April Fool's episode of Villain Review. Stay tuned.